Okay, now I'm back for my evening walk. It's about 6:30ish, and I'm going for a quick walk, maybe 2 hours, 3 hours. This is the place where I'm staying. This is the cycle path, and over there is the Moselle River and Luxemburg on the other side of the road. And here you've got a nice restaurant with a nice terrace. Moselle view guaranteed. So this is part of the cycle path which runs along the Moselle River, basically all the way to where the Moselle River runs into the Rhine at Koblenz. So I'm going further up. Okay, so this is basically southwest because the Moselle River comes from France, which is about 25 kilometers from here upstream. So I'm going upstream now, and as you can see, it's sort of mixed weather. There are clouds. It was raining in the past, and sometimes you've got some sunshine. Depends really. That's why I've got my umbrella with me, and that's why I was also called the Umbrella Man, the Umbrella Hiker. So I still got that umbrella, Eric, as you can see, my constant companion, because I don't want to get wet. So this is where the campground is supposed to be, in about 500 meters. Yep, I can already see some caravans. So for a very long time, about 6 months, everything was closed. Restaurants, hotels, even campgrounds. Although you just, are out in the nature, they still had to close. But slowly things are picking up, and opening up. You can see some of those campground users have their own jetty. Some even might arrive by boat. I'm going to walk upstream for a while, maybe 3-4 kilometers, and then on the right hand side there should be the Luxembourg town of Remich, and I'm going to go there, cross the river. There's a bridge. Unfortunately there's no bridge in the other way downstream. The next one would be in 10 kilometers. So unfortunately that's why I cannot do a circular tour, like going to Remich upstream and then downstream on the other side, because I would have to walk another 10 kilometers to be able to cross the river again, and then walk back another 5 to 10 kilometers to get back to the little place where I'm staying at. So as you can see, some cars are there, so there must be people. As you can see, the riverbank is quite high, and there's no vineyards here. There are some in the distance, as you might see. There are some further downstream actually. The type of wine which is grown here, especially in the upper Moselle River Valley, is called Elbling. So that's what they actually grow here, Elbling. There are some wineries in the little place where I stay, which is called Palzem. I'm not sure whether I'm going to get a bottle. Actually, the person who showed me around the hotel, the little hotel, showed me the room, got me the key. He said in the upper floor there's a fridge with some beer and wine, and I should help myself to some beer or wine, and then at the end of the stay just say what I consumed and then pay. So I might actually be able to drink a bottle of Elbling wine later on. We'll see. Yeah, some people spend the bank holidays here, as you can see, the campground, because it's Whit Sunday. Today is Saturday, the 22nd of May, and tomorrow and Monday there are bank holidays, Whit Sunday, and a swan. Yeah, the river is not agitated, it's muddy because we had a lot of rain in the last couple of days, so it's muddy. But right here the speed of the river, of the water, is not very fast actually. Slowly flowing downhill towards the Rhine River. Yeah, quite a big campground actually. It's mostly people who stay here year round. That's why they also have their gardens and hedges and trees and palm trees, as you can see. So not a lot of day campers who come here and stay for one night or two. It's mostly people staying year round. But that's okay. That's okay. They also have a bistro, kiosk. If Eric was with me, if you were with me, Eric, you probably would suggest a beer in the cold on the terrace outside, because that's the only thing which is allowed until the 2nd of June. Outside restoration. But it's not very warm really, it's like maybe 12, 13, 14 degrees. So don't fancy a beer really. Oh, it's an Italian restaurant, Ristorante l'Italiano. So that rings a bell, Eric, huh? Restaurants, Italian restaurants, and Italian beer. Yeah, there's a car with a French number plate, because France is not far away. Sometimes things are cheaper in Germany, so maybe they have one of those little huts which they rent year round or build. Ah, here we have some wineries, a vineyard. Nice. The green leaves have come out already, so spring has arrived. Must be a nice sight in autumn when the grapes are ready to be harvested. There's another campground over there. Yeah, unfortunately the weather is going to stay like this for another 2 or 3 days until we see higher temperatures and more pleasant weather. And it's okay, there's no thunderstorms and high winds. I don't mind. I've got my umbrella, which is going to protect me as it did in Switzerland on the Via Francigena. Yeah. So as I said, tomorrow I'm going to take the train for another 3 small stops further upstream, and then I'm going to walk from there, which is called Perl. It's about 24 kilometers. It says about 7 hours, 8 hours of walking. So that's what I'm going to do tomorrow. Take the train for about 10 minutes and then walk back from Perl, which is right near the border with France and the border with Luxembourg. As I said, the other side is already Luxembourg, the other side of the Moselle River. So the bus is already in Luxembourg. And then another 20-25 kilometers further upstream, we've got France all the way to the west and southwest. So this is sort of a dead end Germany wise. And it's called the 3-country point. There's some people having a barbecue on the second campground. It's okay, sort of, you know. It's not cold, it's not warm, it's sort of, like 12, 13, 14 degrees Celsius. So the campground doesn't seem to end, or it's one campground after the other. So we've got one at the beginning with the kiosk, another one here, and then it goes on there and further that way another kilometer or so. We've got a little stream here. We need to cross there at the bridge, and as you can see, the road going along the river Moselle is fairly close to the river. So I was told by the owner of the hotel that there is no border checks, nothing really. No, you don't need a negative test or anything to just cross over the bridge across the Moselle River, and then that's it, you are in Luxembourg. I'm not sure whether that's the same thing with France. Actually, there might be border controls at the French border, because I was told, or I read, that you need a negative PCR test not older than, I'm not sure, 48 or 72 hours. And if you can't, come up with a negative test, you're not allowed to enter the country. So, but then, after all, these areas, they don't know any borders, or haven't known any borders for years and years and years. Even before the Schengen agreement, there were no borders really between France and Luxembourg and Belgium, Netherlands, the founding countries of the European Union. They always used to have borders and border controls, of course, but mostly you could just pass, and they did some random checks, and that was it. So real border controls haven't been here for a while, for a long time. So that's why I'm not astonished, actually, that there's nothing really to cross into Luxembourg, but we'll see. So the campground goes on, and apparently there are some sites which haven't been well maintained. Apparently this person here has rented the whole field and hasn't cut the grass. There's a dog there and a fence, so there must be somebody there, and there's the Spanish flag, so Spanish people, and another flag, which I don't know. Okay, before it gets too boring, I'll interrupt here for a while until I get to the bridge, and then I'll give an account of what it's like to go into Luxembourg. Okay. Actually, as soon as I pressed the stop button, I actually saw this. So there's a nice little chateau, a castle on the Luxembourg side. Seems to be nice. Okay, see you at the bridge.